The Bible said, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 15 and 16. Wisdom speaking said, by me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, even all the judges of the earth. The Lord bless his word in Jesus' name. Tonight, our objective is to understand the wisdom keys that take people to the top. It is one thing to go to the top. It's another thing to remain at the top. But tonight, our focus is, what is it that will take somebody up first? Wisdom keys that take people to the top. We saw already in the seats of destiny, the Bible said we are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hid. So the top is where we belong. Not for show, not to make a name, but for the glory of God. According to verse 16, it says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So we are not going up to brag or go up to oppress people or go up to become proud and arrogant. But we are going up so that people know that the up belongs to God. He is the most high. And the most high places of the earth belong to his people. That's the aim. Like we have said all the time, it is more evangelistic. It is more evangelistically resultful to speak from the top than to speak from the bottom. The managing director of an organization, is easier for him to speak, to convince the workforce to follow his God than for the messenger to convince the MD to follow his God. It's easier to impact from up than to impact from down. It's far more profitable in every way to be up than to be in the bottom. And so this moment, if you look at the lives of the people like Joseph, people like David, people like Daniel, these were people that impacted nations. These were people that changed territories. They didn't do it from down, they did it from up. Joseph influenced from up. Daniel influenced a nation from up. David influenced Israel from up. Now, what wisdom did they employ? What wisdom will you employ to go up? Number one, maintain the presence of God. Maintain the presence of God. Maintain the company of God. In Genesis 39 and in verse 2, the Bible said, and the Lord was with Joseph. Verse 21, the Lord was with Joseph. And the Lord with Joseph took Joseph up and kept Joseph up. Just remember this if you don't remember anything for this point. You cannot dwell with the Most High and not dwell in the high places of the earth. Again, you cannot dwell with the Most High and not dwell in the high places of the earth. The shadow of the Most High is not on the ground. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Whatever you do, keep the company of the Most High. Association is key to elevation. Associate with the Most High and you will be elevated to the most high places of the earth. Maintain the presence of the Most High. Number 2, possess vision for the future. Possess vision. Rather, vision for the top. In Genesis chapter 37, verse 3 all the way to verse 9, we saw the life of Joseph. If you start from verse 5, and he dreamed dreams, and he told it to his brethren. Read all the way to verse 9. You will see about the dreams of Joseph. And all the dreams pointed to him being at the top. In Genesis chapter 13, and in verse 14 to verse 15, God speaking to Abraham, and the Lord said to Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art, northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward. For the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forevermore. Please take note of the following 2 or 3 things. 1, vision is key to elevation. Is key to elevation. Second, where you find yourself today, where you see yourself today, determines where you will find yourself tomorrow. Where do you see yourself? You see yourself on the floor today. You will find yourself on the floor tomorrow. If you see yourself on the top today, even if you are not on the top yet, but you see yourself on the top today, you will find yourself on the top tomorrow. Don't let your situation limit your vision. Let your vision rearrange your situation. Don't let your situation limit your vision. Let your vision rearrange your situation. That is, no matter where you are, no matter where you find yourself today, decide where you want to find yourself and see yourself there. Joseph had it. David had it. And they all found themselves there. Maintain the presence of God. Possess vision for the top. Number 3, be different in every way. Be different in every way. You want to find yourself on the top, and there are majority of people you know on the floor. Be different from them in every way. Be different in your mindset, how you think. Be different in your lifestyle, how you behave. Genesis 39 and in verse 2, it showed us how different Joseph was from his brethren. 37 verse 2 rather. He brought evil report of his brethren, which means he was different from them. Be different in every way. 2 things you must understand. You don't make a difference until you are different. Among your family members, among your classmates, you don't make a difference until you are different. Secondly, your influence is a product of your difference. Your influence in your generation, whether you are going to influence from the top, is a product of your difference. When people begin to say, why are you so different? Why do you just behave differently? Why don't you just want to act like everybody? Why do you want to behave as if you are superior? When they begin to talk like that, know that you are on the way going somewhere. Am I communicating? In my life, I've come across mediocre people. People who think very low and very base, very on the ground. And I looked at myself and I said, I'm so different. The thought is different. The content of the talk is different. Behavior is different. Mindset is different. I'm not talking of unbelievers. I'm talking of some so-called people in ministry. And at the end of the day, everything grew differently. And the difference is so clear. Don't ever struggle to belong if you are different. If you begin to feel different and think different and behave different and never struggle to belong. Otherwise, your attempt to belong will limit your destiny. Be different. Number 4. So the first thing is maintain the company of the Most High. Possess vision for the top. Be different in every way. Number 4, be the best in what you do. Are you planning to go to the top? Be the best in what you do. Work on yourself until you are the best in what you do. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 17. They were looking for somebody to go to the palace, and Saul said, provide me a man that can play well and bring him to me. And in verse 18 they found David, that he was the best in whatever he did. He was the very, very best in playing the instrument. Please listen to this. If being the best is your passion, being at the top is your portion. Say that again. If being the best is your passion, then being at the top is your portion. Show me a man or a woman who has a passion for being the best, behaving the best, acting the best. Then being at the top is your portion. And don't forget this. Second, that the best of life answers to the best from man. If you are going to get the best of life, life must get the best from you. Because life is a fertile ground. If you are going to get the best out of life, life must get the best out of you. The best of life answers to the best of man. We are talking about wisdom to the top. Christians think that we have to pray about everything. Yes, we have to pray about everything. But there are things that prayer will not do, where being the best will do. Excellence took David to the palace before the anointing took him there. When he went there at first, it was not that he was anointed that got him there. It was that he was the best instrumentalist. Be the best at what you do, so you can represent God from the top in your field. The best in your medical practice, the best in your legal practice, the best in your engineering, the best in your production. Being the best. Be the best at what you do. Number 4, deploy your potentials. Consistently deploy your potentials. That is, what you know how to do, don't hold back. Do not hoard or hide your potentials. Proverbs 18:16, it said, a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him to greatness. It takes him to the top. A man's gift, it maketh room for him, takes him to the top. Listen to this. You don't hoard potentials and access possibility. You don't hoard potentials and access possibility. Your potentials are the key to your possibility. Secondly, your potential is your vehicle to your placement in life. Your potentials is your vehicle to your placement in life. Whatever God has put in you, push them out. A time was when I was very, very conscious of how people will feel when they look at you as if you are over-gifted, over-talented. You play the instrument, you sing the song, you write the song, you dance the dance, you preach the preach, you organize a crusade, you teach the teach, you prophesy the prophesy, and all of that. So I was trying to hold back so that nobody feels intimidated. I remember one time I went somewhere and I was playing the instrument, and it looks like that. Well, one or two people just felt, why will you do everything? And I was trying to hold back until God warned me that everything he gave to me, I will give account of it. So it's not about what a person feels or does not feel. And for as long as I am not planning to create an impression, it is all right to give expression. Did you hear what I just said? If your plan is to create an impression, your motive is wrong. You are not going to go far. You want to impress people with what you can do and intimidate people. You are not going to go far. But if it is a matter of giving expression, you are not holding back, but giving expression to the glory of your Maker, then you will locate your passion. Deploy potentials. Place people satisfaction above financial consideration. Place people satisfaction. I'm giving you the keys to go to the top. Place people satisfaction ahead of financial consideration. Simple. Put people above money. Don't put money above people. In Genesis chapter 40, verse 5 to verse 8, when Joseph came into the prison and he saw the depressed butler and baker, and he knew that he could interpret their dreams, he didn't ask them, how much will you pay? This is your bill. This is the invoice for being able to interpret your dream. What was more important to him? He had the skill, he had the expertise, he had the ability. But what was more important to him was not what he can get out of solving their problem. It was the fact that their problem must be solved. Their problem must be solved first. And when that problem was solved, you know yourself that even though it was a few years later, the solving of that problem was the door to the palace. Am I communicating? Maybe Joseph could have charged them $5 each. $5, $10. And they looked for money and paid. And after that, they would have forgotten him forever. Even if Pharaoh said that I have a dream, I have no interpretation, they won't remember Joseph. Because that was the man who charged them money in their distress. There are people who use people's problems as advantages to make money. People's challenge, people's pain. Pain. Woman delivered a child premature and was in a particular hospital. I'm a medical doctor and I'm sorry to say this, but this child needed an incubator. And this child needed to be in the hospital for maybe 2 or more months. And you had to drop 3.5 million before any treatment could commence on the child. And I said to myself, if the 3.5 million is not available, what happens? The child dies, right? The woman ran helter-skelter. In my mind, I said, what if the child is treated until the child is okay after that 2 months and you haven't paid the money? You can't be discharged. That's a possibility. So look for money before the discharge. Is that not a superior wisdom than if the child dies now because you cannot pay, let the child die? Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm using an extreme case now. But Joseph interpreted their dream without asking for a dime. But the time came when what Joseph got as a result of doing that vision, that interpretation free of charge, no amount of money could have bought it. Listen to two things. A heart for people will give you your place among people. When you have a heart for people, you will find your place among men. That heart that Nehemiah had, that made him to weep over the walls, the broken down walls of Jerusalem. That heart that David had, that made him to risk his life, saying, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? A heart for people will give you your place among people. Number 7, accept responsibility. Accept responsibility. What is the meaning of this? Do what others avoid. Go where others won't go. Accept responsibility. Do what others avoid. Go where others won't go. Be proactive. Don't give excuses. Don't look for whom to blame. Accept responsibility. See yourself as a person who must do what must be done. Don't try to look for who should do it. See yourself as the person who must do what must be done where you are. Don't look for who will do it. That was how David saw himself. In 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 11, he saw himself responsible. While his other brothers were at home, he was in the bush, taking care of his father's flock. That was how Joseph saw himself. In Genesis chapter 40 verse 6 to 8, while everybody was seeing the prisoner sad, he held himself responsible to make them happy. Accept responsibility. Just hold yourself responsible. Respond appropriately. Consider yourself the person that must do what must be done. And 2 things I will say. Number 1, the acceptance of responsibility is the establishment of authority. Joseph has accepted responsibility. He was establishing authority. The acceptance of responsibility is the establishment of authority. And Winston Churchill said, responsibility is the price of greatness. You want to arrive in the realm of greatness, accept responsibility. Just be the one. I don't have the time tonight to tell you several things I can tell you about. Don't wait for who would do the road to where you live. If you have the money, do it. It will answer for you later. Don't wait for who will call the electricity people to come and fix the light. If you have the ability, invite them to do it. Even if there are neighbors there, just go ahead and do it. It places you on top. It's a seed sown. You are telling the world and telling God and telling the earth that you are the one who is the leader. It naturally pushes you up. Accept responsibility.